I can email you the paperwork if you would like. It's just one complaint. The filing fee, I'll also let you know, it's $15 to file. And I can also include the filing options in the email as well. You can mail it in. You can drop it in a nice box on the first floor, or you can file online as well with Case File Express, and I can leave the link for that also in the email if you would like.
All right, thank you. I have filed with eFile Express. It was rejected on a technicality. So this is why I'm calling you and speaking with you personally, because I need somebody to get this through the courts for me, being that I am not an attorney. Also, I filed for the indigent waiver, which I qualify for, and I mailed and printed and filled out the form and mailed it to the courthouse on 500 Indiana Avenue as instructed, and I never received anything, not email, not letter, any notification back. So you see, if you're telling me to do this all over again, I don't see the point to that. I need this to get going.
Okay, well, what I can do a name search for you to see if that information has been initiated. What's your last name?
Sure. I have a case in case file, whatever you are calling this here in DC. The last name is G-R-A-N-G-E-R. This is a serious matter. The city inspector has already cited this place as an illegal blah, blah, blah. I am not an attorney. An attorney needs to get on this. And me running around, going to the post box and sending case files that I'm not qualified to do serves no purpose.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you spell the last name for me one more time?
G as in girl, R as in Ralph, A as in apple, N as in Nancy, G as in girl, E as in Edward, R as in Ralph. Granger. I give you the address too if you need.
Okay.
It's Granger versus Murray is the case that I filed, and it was rejected on a technicality. The first name is Heidi, H as in Harry, E as in Edward, I as in Isis, D as in doll, I as in Isis. Heidi Granger.
So the information that you said you emailed, did you email it to civil e-filing@ccsd.gov?
I filed a case and I paid the $15 or $30 filing fee. I have the email notification back. I'm in your database. It said that it had been declined by the clerk's office because of a technicality. That technicality happened because I am not an attorney, nor am I qualified to be filing e-cases. I'm sure you've heard that before from plaintiffs.
So the thing is, you don't have to be an attorney to file via Case File Express, but if you are filing with a fee waiver, you would have to email it to civil e-filing. Is that something that you have done as well?
Okay, not off the top of my head, but I beg to differ with you. Case, whatever you're calling it, in no way, ma'am, can you tell me your average citizen just fills this out, does this, and never falls under the technicality reject, okay? That's malarkey, and I'm not buying it from you, all right?
So you can file if you're not an attorney. We have filers.
I am not an attorney, and I did do that. You are correct. I took the actions of filing. You're right. But because I'm not skilled in the matter, it was rejected on a technicality. And in no way, ma'am, can you tell me that this is not happening to many of your plaintiffs. That is malarkey if you tried to do that.
Okay, well, from right now, I'm not showing that a complaint was initiated under the name that you did give me. I can take your information down and we can get a supervisor to contact you if you would like to do that. Or I can also, maybe I can try to reach out to a supervisor to see if they're available right now.
Yeah, let's do this right now. Let's do this right now. And before you go, let me just ask you to please review again for me the what was this email? What is this? Maybe I missed that. I didn't do this right. I personally can't believe you're having people do this on their own. What is it beyond? It's beyond the case file that you're saying that I should just have done. What is it?
So the waiver in the complaint packet, you want to email it to.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry, ma'am. I might be confusing you, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm not talking about the waiver. I'm talking about this other email thing for the case itself you commented on.
If you have a complaint and you want to file the waiver with
That you're just-
you have to send it to.
Okay, so you're talking about the waiver. So I did it right. I filed with case file, and I did the waiver. Because what I heard you say was I didn't do it all right. But from now, I'm hearing that I did do it right. I did the waiver and I did the case file.
So the thing is, if you choose to file with a waiver, you have to email it to us first. And then if your waiver is approved, we will provide you with a code if you would like to file it with
Okay. I didn't do the waiver right. Okay. But as far as the e-file, that's what I heard you say, and I could be mistaken. I heard you say I did the e-file wrong. And if I did, how did I do that wrong? Please educate me.
Well, if you have the trace number, I can pull it up and see what went wrong with PayPal Express. But I do generally know, first we want you to start off with the waiver process via email. And like I said, then we provide you with the promo code, because there's a code that if you're
I remember that. I remember that. I do remember all that. Thank you so much. Okay, let me give you the information to the case file. We'll start there. And then I will accept your invitation to speak with a supervisor. But we might not need to. I think maybe me and you can resolve this. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me get the case file. Hold on. Okay, I have got an email. It should have everything you need. I'm not the one to say that definitively, but what can I give you off this? It has a case number pending. What can I give you here?
In the email, do you see the trace number? It'll say like ED301J, and then it'll have a whole bunch of other numbers.
Yes. So here we have ED301J00. That is all this one has. And then it has 223. It has more numbers. 2231154. If you need, I will repeat that.
Okay. No, this should be fine. So let's see.
It's been submitted, so on and so forth. You'll see that the clerk's office rejected it.
Okay. Oh, okay. See, this would have been fine. The only thing is that, yeah, we would need a full. So it has to be a full name.
Can you do that for me? Because I'm obviously not qualified to do this right. Is there anything you can do on your end at all?
Me, unfortunately, no. We can't alter the filing of any sort.
Okay, so just give...
This,
Yes, ma'am,
hold
sorry.
on 1 second.
I am sorry if I'm cutting you off. I'm just, a little frustrated. I have the pressure on my end of filing with the landlord. I'm the plaintiff.
I understand. I did sense that in the beginning. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to take it slow. I'm just going to take
Yeah,
it
this guy's real bad news, and he needs to be hauled into court.
slow. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. The housing.
I can get back on it. I'm not such a nimwit that I can't figure out how to change my name, but I'm afraid I'm going to keep doing this circus of doing something wrong and waiting all day and finding I did it wrong. So I don't need...
Having to keep.
This makes no sense.
We'll do this.
Yeah.
So what you want to do, just make sure, the only thing, just make sure that there's full name, your first and last name for yourself, where the case caption is at the top, and then the first and last name for your defendant right there at the top as well.
I thought I did
Also,
that.
I will
Okay.
tell you, there's just some last names here.
Oh,
I'll also tell you that there's a summons that needs to be included with this as well. That's not here.
I saw those PDFs. I'm supposed to... That's why I'm talking to you. This is why I went to the courthouse. A summons, I'm like, what do I do with this? I need to ask somebody these basic questions.
Yes. So yes, ma'am. So is your email address? So the one that you have here on the complaint, is this current? Because what I can do, I can email you the summons as well.
Yes,
And then
please.
you can include the summons with the complaint once you go refile.
Yeah, no, everything you see on this e-case, whatever, is current. And that's what I'm going to be giving to the courts. It's all going to the courts, so it's current. And anything that you can see here, this, if I can give you some information, so maybe we can do this together, we don't need a supervisor. The city inspector has been out there. It's an illegal boarding house. He has no license, on and on and on and on. It's for the lawyer to hear all of it, I believe, not you. But it's definitely falling within the courts. And me as a plaintiff with no legal experience, I'm obviously not doing my best here, so I'm glad to speak with you.
No, you are, but see, the only thing is this is the first step, which is good. This is the first step. You file your complaint, and then you're able to speak with the judge once you do have that hearing. And the good thing about these cases is that we can, after the clerk accepts it, what happens is you'll get a date from us.
Okay.
And it'll have all the instructions on how to log in and things like that.
Okay.
So as soon as this is accepted, you'll be able to have a date and you can speak to the judge and
Yeah.
reference to whatever is going on
Okay.
in the unit.
Okay.
The only thing is it's only just fixing your complaint, which
Okay.
is not hard.
Just put his
like I
first
said,
name.
Yeah, so the thing is you need a first and last name for yourself, you need a first and last name for your defendant. I'm going to email you the summons portion.
And
you want to merge all of that together.
the
with your
indigenous.
complaint
Indigenous. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I really thank you for your patience with me. The waiver for the court fee, please.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you do plan to use the fee waiver?
Oh, I absolutely am entitled to. I'm indigenous and I'm on Social Security income.
Okay. So here's the thing. So if you're using a waiver, you want to email the waiver and the complaint packet all together. You want to email both of those documents to Civil E-Filing. And I will leave that email address in the email that I'm going to send you.
Okay.
So that you can have that. So you want to email both of those together to Civil E-Filing.
Okay.
And what happens is, In different circumstances, the clerk can approve the waiver. If the clerk can't do it, then they'll send it to the emergency judge, which is called judge in chambers.
Okay.
Either way, if your waiver is granted, what happens is they'll send it back to the clerk's office. If it's from the judge, they'll send it back to the clerk's office with the order. The clerk will initiate the case because you may not even need to file it with Case File Express. They may just send it directly to the clerk with the order.
All right.
And then we'll just initiate the case and we'll send everything back to you. You show up for your hearing.
Okay, and I'm one of those people, or I might actually call your department back because I'm kind of like a baby, and I want to make sure, because this is so important, that I'm doing it right. So you possibly might hear from me again, or one of your coworkers, and I have to beg your pardon, but I can't promise that you won't.
It's okay. That's fine. I mean, and even still, if you want to reply to the email, or if you need to specifically ask for me, that's fine.
I'm the type of person that might possibly do both. I might call and email. I just want to make sure that this is done and it's done right.
Okay.
And also with the summons, what is this? Summons, what is that?
I'm glad you asked. So the summons, it just basically lets the defendant know that there's a case,
Okay.
and that there's a hearing date, and how to log on to that. So the plaintiff, there is something for the plaintiff. So you do have to serve the defendant a copy. Well, you do have to have a copy of the complaint served on the defendant. The only thing about it is that you cannot be a part of the service process.
Oh.
So you can
Mail
hire
it.
a process server, or you can just have, you can have it certified mail.
I'll do that.
If you have it mailed, it has to be certified mail with the green card, the green card returned.
So, sir, do they have to sign for it? I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm not letting you speak. Please, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they do. They would have to sign for it, but they have to send that back to you. So once you get that green card back, you have to attach it to an affidavit. You can draft it up on your own.
So, okay, this seems like you're telling every last immigrant in D.C. who has no English skills to go through this malarkey to take their landlord to court. Am I mistaken?
Yes, ma'am. That's just the legal process.
In Washington, D.C., because I'm familiar with landlord-tenant court in New York City, and there's no any of this. If you want to know, you go into the civil courthouse, you file some papers real fast, you get your indigent waiver feed, you go in and you wait all day sometimes. It depends on how packed it is. At the civil court with the judge, you talk right to the judge that day, and you walk out and you have your court case. I've never seen anything like this as here.
Let me backtrack. So with us, if your waiver is granted, what we do, the clerk's office, we will send out a copy to the defendant. That's what we do. We will do that for your first attempt of service. Now, say for instance, we send it out and, the defendant doesn't answer or something like that.
Exactly.
You still have to make sure, you still have to make sure they are served with a copy. So we will do our part as far as sending a copy to them.
That's what I'm familiar with. I mean, because I'm familiar with tenant court. I'm familiar with, indigent people who are sometimes not paying their rent. In no ways at all can you tell me they can pull this off at all. And there's no way the court can function at all. So I'm imagining that this is kind of maybe the way that it is right now because of COVID. Because there's no way you can put a whole bunch of low income and no English people and start telling them this. Like they could even understand what you're saying right now. They couldn't. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. So, the only thing is not, in most circumstances, people they can do it themselves, but like I said, we just mail it out. You just have a waiver anyway.
Okay.
But that's not saying that,
All
most
right.
times that, the defendant is going to answer and things like
Right.
that. So we
Yeah.
try to send
Right.
it out at least.
Right. So, no, I appreciate you telling me how to do it on my own, the summons procedure. But that didn't make sense to me because you're telling the people here to do everything on their own. It ain't make no. Why don't I just be the judge, the police, and the fire department too? Okay? I just do it on my own. And this is crazy. All right? And it's not how New York functions. I know that. So the courts do take some action on their own, right? You will summon the defendant, right?
Send it out, but that's the only thing. We
Okay.
can send it out via mail.
Okay, and that only happens once the judge has accepted the case, right?
Yes, ma'am. So
Okay.
once the judge waives your fees and they send it to the clerk's office, we initiate the case. We will send your copy back, that you filed, and we'll send a copy to the defendant
Okay, and you do that,
in hopes that they answer.
you guys do that through I'm just curious, you do that through certified mail too?
No, that's the thing. We only do regular mail, and then we send a notice of acknowledgement to them, addition to the copy of the complaint, which just says, they notice that the case is there and that they've received it. They
Okay.
are supposed to send that copy back, the notice of acknowledgement, but like I said, it's not all the time that they send that back as well. So
I know, plaintiffs, exactly. So, now, please, you're talking to someone who's ignorant here. I made that clear. I'm not a lawyer. Please send me the summons, the indigenous, everything, all that, and I'll look it over and do my best, and I'll have the courts here in D.C. send him the summons, and is it against the procedure for me to send him the summons too? Can we both do it, the courts and the
no,
complainant?
not at all. So we actually encourage you to do that as well. Because
Okay.
like I said, it's not for certain that they're going to respond just because we sent them something. So
Right. So exhaust all avenues. Everybody.
It'll help if you try
Right.
to attempt it on your own.
Okay. And if the defendant fails to ever acknowledge the summons, and he is the proprietor and the landlord, what happens?
That's left up to the judge. As long as you provide proof that, you've attempted to serve, or because the thing is, when we send it out, we also docket that copy of the notice of acknowledgement. We also docket that as well, just to say, hey, we've sent this out on the court's behalf, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, like I said, it's not for certain that they are even going to acknowledge that or, respond to the complaint.
Okay. And
Which is terrible, but
yeah, no, that's typical. A lot of lessors don't even show up for court. I know that in New York they don't. Okay, so but they get fined anyway. The city will go after them via money. Okay, I as the plaintiff, yes, go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. As long as, if you do attempt service, just make sure that you provide proof of service that you did try to, at least serve them on your own behalf as well. And then, I guess once you do get to that hearing date, after you file that, it'll be left up to the judge what they want to do, as far as the case and things like that.
Right. Oh, that's why I'm there. Who am I to call the shots? I'm really, as a DC citizen, whatever, needing the courts to use their expertise here.
Yes, ma'am. So actually what I'm doing, I'm searching for that summons form. It may be in the housing complaint packet. If it is, I'll just send you the whole thing back together.
Okay.
And like I said, I'll include the waiver and the civil e-filing email as well.
Okay, last question. What I intended, from what I could gather, doing my own research, was there's a hearing and it's called a scheduling hearing, and it's for rent mediation. And this is what I would like the judge to do. And this, from what I could gather, is very, very, very common in DC. Rent mediation.
So rent mediation, I'm assuming that's something that'll happen after the initial scheduling conference. Because
Right.
the first hearing is just, you meeting the judge and
Right.
basically going over the case. And then after that, I guess the judge will determine where the case needs to go, whether it's
Right.
mediation or,
Right.
whether there are different alternatives to pay the rent and things like that.
Okay. Right. Yeah, because I have grounds, want repairs done that have already been cited and fined, and it's an illegal, everything, all that. The inspector's been there. So this is what as a whatever I am, defendant or whatever, filing, I wasn't sure if I filed in court for the right type of case. Can you verify to me that I filed for the right type of case at all, even?
So that, unfortunately, I cannot. I can't tell you exactly what you need to file. If that makes sense, I can only tell you the type of cases that we accept in the civil actions branch.
So, but can you see my
I
little?
can tell you that you also can.
Yeah. My little case I
can tell you
filed.
that you also. So the one that you filed.
Yeah.
I will tell you, you didn't mark any boxes.
Yeah, I know.
For the case.
I know. Look. It's not that easy. Okay. I don't know. I'm not. You know what? I'm not accepting the malarkey that everybody who has no English skills or high school education, which is half of your civil tenant courts people, get on case filing to do this. I'm not even buying that malarkey. So now you're telling me that I didn't check boxes either?
Yes, ma'am. On the third page, there are boxes. It says you must complete the form and attach it to the complaint. It's just basically you marking off what's wrong. In the unit.
Okay. I'm going to get back onto e-case file. Am I right? Get back onto this case that I filed that you're looking at. Get back onto that website, right?
Well, you're only going to use Case File Express if you're going to pay for the filing fee.
I did. I paid $35.
Now, if you're not using, that's the thing. Since your case was rejected, if you're not paying the filing fee, then you're going to send it to civil e-filing that I'm going to mention in this email.
Okay, so the case that got rejected on a technicality because the name was not fully submitted properly, I cannot get refunded for, and is now trashed out the window. It's a dead case.
Well, the rejection, anytime a case is rejected, you're supposed to get the filing fee back, but I don't think you get the processing fee back from Case File Express.
Okay, but the case itself is out the window.
So you get the $15 back, but not the processing fee.
But the case, I can't go back and change the name and resubmit it. I have to start a whole new case with a whole new number.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
If you're paying the filing fee, yes.
Okay, so this is, what I'm gathering is what I should do is wait for you to send me the email with the summons and the waiver and any and all other information about e-case file, and I'm going to start fresh is what you're telling me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then I need to check boxes. Where are these boxes? What page is that on?
The boxes are on page 3 of the complaint.
Okay, I probably know what you're talking about when I'm looking at it. Okay, great. And I have your contact number, and I will have some sort of contact email, so I'll feel a little bit more secure going forth from here. All right, that's great. Oh, one last question. Since he's been inspected and he has been fined, and whatever these words that you use in the city court for illegal boarding house, non-licensed, no license. Since that has been verified as in the city, no contesting, okay? Am I filing in civil court, or am I filing for something in because I saw a website where you filed through the inspector's office, or is this all civil court? A hearing.
See, that's the thing. If you were seeking to maybe file a civil complaint or seeking to sue this person, then that would be us, civil actions branch. And what I can also do, because that's going to be a whole different
I knew
set of
that.
paperwork. It's another complaint.
Oh, thank
But
you
I
for
can
said that.
also attach that
Yes.
Complaint paperwork.
Yeah, that's going to be that's next. I'm not, but it's a slam dunk lawsuit. I'm doing that in small claims, yes. But as far as there's 2 courts, but thank you for sending that, because that was what I was going to do. This is done. This house is done. It's finito. That's next, though. What I need to do is get this somehow through the tenant court, that the judge has to make a determination at that point. Okay, I'm bringing it to them. The house is finito. I know it's going to end up toast. He's not going to be able to rent. He's not going to be able to do anything. He's going to have to fix it up, get a license, and go by the book. So I'm bringing that to the judge. That's my grounds, and they're solid, and they can't be rejected except on a technicality, so I learned. But I don't even know if I really, when I did that case, was filing for the right case. And I don't know because I also saw that the city inspectors has their own housing court, right?
See, that I'm not sure.
They have some sort of judge.
I do not know that.
Well, I saw in the city court thing, it's the city inspector's office. They have some sort of judge that's working out of there that does hearings. That's the most I can give you. So I was asking you, is that the civil court? Is that what's actually happening? Or it's probably the case where it's actually happening there, but it's through the inspector's office, because this guy's already been cited and fined through the inspector's office.
See that, like I said, I'm not sure. I personally have not heard of that office. I only know about civil actions if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
But you did mention small claims, so just so that you can know, if you do choose to file with us in civil actions, if you choose to file for anything monetary, just make sure it's over $10,001. If it's under that, then it'll be small claims.
I'm not looking for dinero. I'm making a point. When you have a slam dunk case because the guy's not licensed and he's been committing crime and all that, we'll let the judge go ahead and certify all that because it's been done. I got a slam dunk lawsuit, but that's last. What I need to do is get it into the courts. And having someone like me doing that, obviously I'm doing it wrong. I'm speaking to you now. If I would have done it right, I would have had to call.
Well, it sounds like you're good to go. As far as the civil actions branch, I have making sure I have it correct. The email. Let me make sure I have that correct. Is it HeidiGranger@gmail.com?
Is Heidi Granger and then the number 9 on the toolbar? Heidi Granger 9 at gmail.com. It's the one that's on my case file or whatever, the one that you just looked at where I did the name wrong. It's that email. And I need the indigenous. I have a printer. I printed all this out. I thought, oh, mail it. So that was my mistake. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised I'm making mistakes. So you're telling me email it. I'm going to do all that. I'm going to just wait through the basic housing court. That's my objective right now. And once it's in the courts and the judge has looked at all this, that's when I'm going to file for my small claims. I don't want to do a $10,000 lawsuit. I'm making a point. It's like maybe $5,000. But if you can send me that too, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I'm just finishing up this draft for your email. And like I said, if you have any more questions, you can email me directly or you can call us back.
I don't want to. Thank you. I don't want to take all of your time. And thank you, ma'am, for giving me so much of your time today. It's got to have been an hour that I've been, barking at you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll wait for the emails and all right.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You too.